What's up, y'all? I'm back with a video. You know I had to make this video. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B feud. Y'all know I had to make a video about this because they both have a popular fan base. Very popular. Worldwide popular. From each side. From Nicki Minaj to Cardi B. So I felt like it was good to make this video so that people can see from both perspectives of what I'm talking about between these two women, between these two great rappers that have been feuding for almost 10 years. If you think about it, you sit back and think about it, they've been feuding for years. And you would have thought that, it would have died down. No, it never died down. If you sit back and think about it, Nicki and Cardi been beefing for damn near 10 years. Or at the 10-year mark. It just seemed like they never could, come to amends and try to break the ice. None of that. You just never saw it. And do you know how good their collaborations would have been if they were cool and didn't have beef? Do you know how good their music would have been? I always said that for years. The only song that I can remember, the only song with them two on the same track, and it seemed like they actually worked together, was Motorsport. And Motorsport was a good track. But I don't even think they liked each other then. They was just doing the track, the music, working with the Migos. They're just making a track. I don't even think Cardi B and Nicki Minaj was that cool then. Allegedly, they didn't record the song together. It wasn't like they was all together recording. Anybody can record at different times in the booth or at home or whatever if you have the studio equipment. And then go ahead and get a song up once you're done with your verse. Nah, Cardi B and Nicki was not together recording that song together. I think it was still tension then. But they were able to make that Motorsport song and it was a success. Now, we all know the real fans from Nicki and Cardi, and I'm a fan of both of them. But we all know back in September of 2018, that New York Fashion Week altercation, when that happened, man, internet went crazy. I remember it. We all remember it. Whoever remembered that situation in that era time. It just seemed like after that, it was never the same between those two. And, both of them defended for each other. And I do believe if it won't no bodyguards or too many people around, they would have been brawling. I honestly believe that. If it weren't a lot of people around to secure them from fighting, I believe they would have got down. But because it was a lot of security, they knew that they weren't going to let that situation get out of hand too much. But it seems like after that event, nothing was the same. It's just been a heated, social war. It just seemed like they never could get along. And a lot of people probably saying, well, it's Nicki. Cardi's cool. Or it's Cardi. Nicki cool. It's a lot of things from different angles that you got to pay attention to. And with Nicki and Cardi, I believe they could have been cool. But I noticed some things and reading some things, it just didn't sit right with me. This Cardi and Nicki have been feuding for years. Like, it's no breaking the ice. They can't even sit down and have a talk. At one time, I thought they were, trying to seek each other on a positive path. But then it got right back to them feuding again. Ever since that New York Fashion Week, it's just never been the same. But let's take it back a year before 2018, back in 2017, when Cardi B joins Remy Ma at Hot 97 Summer Jam Festival. And around that time, Remy had did that little, diss track on Nicki with Sheether. I know y'all remember that. That was a crazy era too. But that'd be a whole nother story with the Remy Ma and Nicki. But getting back, when Cardi B joined Remy Ma for that, for the Hot 97 performance, and then around that time, Sheetha, the diss track, all that stuff was out. Nicki she won't feeling Cardi. But this is the thing that I noticed with Nicki, and I'm a Nicki fan. And, I'm sorry if the Nicki Barbs, they get upset. But it always seemed like Nicki's a great rapper, but it always seems like she's the only one that wants to be on top. She don't want nobody competing with her or anything. She wants to be the only one in the rap game. And that's what I see. And that's what I've been seeing over the years with her. It just seemed like she never could get along with female rappers. She only saw herself at the top. Yes, I'm a fan, and yes, I'm saying this. But that's just what I noticed about her. She's the only one that wants to be on top. She don't want nobody selling out more than her. She don't want nobody acknowledging the other artists for awards. She only wants to see her progression. And is that selfish? Yes. As a fan, me saying that, yes, that's selfish. It shouldn't be that way. Nicki is a big asset to female hip-hop music. So she should be leading the way for rappers like Cardi and whoever, other rappers as well that's in the young era or that's younger than her. I don't feel like she should be trying to cause any issues or say anything that, just make someone be like, hold up, wait a minute. But I'm a fan of Nicki, and I noticed that about her. She the only one that want to be on top. If you selling more than her, it's a problem. And that's just, I see it, And yes, I'm a fan. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm a fan of Nicki and Cardi. But I'm not the Barbs and the Cardi B gang. I'm not a part of that. I'm just a neutral, calm fan of the both of them. And I noticed a huge feud that's been going on for years. That's how I'm looking at it. No, I'm not them fans that's just going all crazy and starting social media war. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm just a at ease fan that like their music, and I enjoy seeing them perform, things like that. And then when Cardi B joined the Rappers Unity performance for the female rappers. I know y'all remember that. I felt like that was a good thing to do for hip hop music. Gather, the female rappers and from different era of times and getting together and Cardi B was invited to that, but allegedly Nicki was not feeling that. Once again, this is the part that I don't understand. How can you be upset at someone for trying to go to another positive all women female group from different eras? That's legendary. How can you be mad at somebody for that? Certain things I do not understand with Nicki when it comes to certain things. If you cool with somebody Nicki don't like, she got a beef with you. And that's how I see it, And Nicki Barbs, you may be mad if you run across this video, but this video is not for you to be mad. It's just explaining what I see from my perspective. And either you listen or you don't, but it's fine. But still at the same time, that's what I see with her. If you cool with somebody that Nicki don't like, she feel as though that's a threat to her. That you portrayed her because you're supposed to be cool with her. You're not supposed to be cool with people that she don't like. But that's not how you look at it. That person that Nicki felt betrayed her, I'm gonna use Cardi. How can you be mad at Cardi for being friends with somebody or liking somebody that you don't like, or going to a performance with a person that Nicki don't like, and then you all of a sudden got allegedly beef with Cardi for being around people that Nicki don't like. It don't make sense. That's why I feel like Nicki probably would never have any real friends, because anybody that they talk to that Nicki don't like, she gonna have beef with that person for talking to the person that she don't like. And that's what seemed like has been going on for years. Like, you're not gonna make no friends like that. You always gonna have beef with people. You are. Because it's plenty of people that I may dislike, and this is off social media, real life for me. It may be plenty of people that I don't like, but if I got a friend that's talking to them or don't have no problem with them, I'm not gonna treat the friend that I like, oh, well, we ain't cool, we got beef now because you like. No, I'm just gonna let you know, hey, I don't fool with her, but I like you, and I'm gonna leave it as that. That's the type of person I am. But I guess in the celebrity world, it's different. But that's what I've been seeing. So, the beef started, off of Cardi going to performances and talking to people that Nicki didn't like. That's how I'm seeing it. And then it just slowly became almost 10-year feud. These beefs started with these two years ago. It's 2025. The beef that is going on, or the altercation or disagreement that's going on now this year, they beef ain't just start this year. It's been going on. And it led to the feud that they have now for this year. Now it's a whole nother, it's a whole nother feud between them two. Twitter is off the chain right now with them two. And allegedly the things that they're tweeting. It's crazy. It's 2025 and they're still feuding. They don't even know it yet, but these are iconic, legendary rappers. The reason why I say that, well, they're a part of iconic, legendary rappers, because they paved their way. They made a name for themselves for the era of when they came out. So, everybody knows Nicki, everybody knows Cardi. They got a name for themselves now. And they know how to rap. They know how to perform. They know how to give a good show. That's why I say they both would be a legendary or a part of legendary, iconic rappers. I don't think they realize how much of good music that they would have made together if they just wouldn't be feuding off of whatever. Whether it was Cardi hanging with people or going to their events and Nicki not liking that, or whether if it was album sales, whoever, Cardi selling more than her. It don't matter what it is. Because I heard different things over the years as far as what their feud was. Album sales. Cardi hanging with the people that Nicki didn't like. She felt like that was a threat. All of it. So whatever the feud is out of those options I just said, other than that, they could have made legendary music. I always said that. And Motorsport, like I said, is really only the main song that you're going to hear, and it sounds like, they all made the song together. That's probably the only song you're going to hear with them on the same track together. And as you can see, Motorsport was a success. It was a very popular song. Video was hot. It was nice. Imagine the music they could have made if they just would have collaborated more. I'm going to say that. They collaborated enough to give us Motorsport. And I appreciate that. Because that was a good song. But, the feud that they got going on now for 2025 is just getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It really is. Not listening, but reading. Because Twitter is off the chain, right now. I'm surprised I don't know. I'm just surprised, man. That's all I can say. The stuff that I have been reading. And I'm going to say the feud is just getting out of hand. When is the ice going to break? So, guys, I wanted to make this video. I really did. Because I want people to see from different perspectives on both sides of what's going on, of why they feuding. And Cardi gonna respond. Her responses was always, look, it is what it is. What you trying to do? That's all. That's the only thing that I ever got out of Cardi as far as her response. Like, she ain't scared. She won't never scared. But, Nicki may be intimidated by that as well. Because it's no bringing Cardi down. Cardi gonna do her regardless, and that's what I see in Cardi. And some women have get offended of that, because it's like, wait a minute, I'm the one that should be, doing this and doing that, and you're doing this and trying to compete with me. You just, certain women don't like that. They don't like the competition. They don't like it. And I think with Nicki, she always wanted to dead the competition. If she felt like it was competition with her in the rap game, she gonna try to dead it. And that's what I've seen, even as a fan liking her music. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. But Cardi always stood on 10 toes. And some women don't like that. They don't like that you standing on 10 toes. They don't like that you defending for yourself if they say something to you. And that's, what I've noticed on and off with Nicki, Even though she is a very good, great, versatile rapper. Cardi is a great rapper too, with great performances. But, you know, you know how us women can get. And Nicki case with Cardi, she the only one that want to be on top. You know? So it's obvious, you know, it may be some competition that Nicki been trying to dead for years. Because she the only one that want to be on top. Why wasn't she at the Unity performance with all the other female rappers along with Cardi? You feuding with everybody? That's somebody that's the only one that want to be on top. Not saying people haven't done things to Nicki, you know, but we're just speaking with this situation. Another reason why this feud is getting out of control is because allegedly they are involving the kids, talking about each other's kids. Why do adults do that? Why do adults bring kids into adult situations? The kids have nothing to do with adult situations. Kids and adults do not have the same mentality for adult situations. The feud is getting out of hand between Cardi and Nicki with that. You never bring up or talk about nobody's kids. No matter who you got beef with, the kids ain't got nothing to do with it. But because there's nothing else to really bring up, the next thing is to talk about the kids. Yeah, it's getting out of hand with them. You know, they need to, you know, have a real woman sit down, because when it get to you talking about each other's kids, or one of them talking about the other's kids, that's when it's just, okay, it needs to stop. The kids ain't got nothing to do with it. But that's just a low blow to try to hurt the other person. So you guys, this is the end of the video. Hope y'all enjoy it. This is for the Nicki fans and Cardi B fans. You know, ain't nobody gonna put it together like how I just did. You able to understand from both point of views of how this feud is going. You know, it's crazy. All that good music that they could have made together, and they wasted all these years feuding instead. I'll talk to y'all. Thank y'all for my 489 subscribers. Yay! I appreciate y'all. Let's get to 500. Let's get monetized. You know? Yeah, let's do the damn thing. I'll be back. Peace.